So for this video we'll be modeling this overhang. It's not a BIM specific tutorial, it's more like a general purpose modeling Freecad tutorial. So yeah, let's get to it. Bam. I was inspired by another tutorial on YouTube about a carport. He did some interesting things with the master sketch, which I like using master sketches and I like his ideas, so this is my swing for it, because I have to model an overhang anyway. So I thought now is a good time. First I make a spreadsheet where I put all the main dimensions in, which makes it easier to change afterwards if I want. Could be done a bit simpler by making a varsec, which is basically a holder of varieties and a holder of variables, sorry, in the normal tree list. However, I like working with parameters with spreadsheets if it gets a little bit more complicated. Here's me putting up the very simple master sketch. I made a single master sketch, which is basically just the outline of where the entire building is gonna be. And then I made a second master sketch which holds all of the actual lines and that will make up the overhang. And then I'm constraining it and doing a couple of changes here and there. For example, I constrained the top part here, which is a beam, but later on I'll move it downstairs a bit so that I can change the height independently of how tall the entire structure is. I use a lot of formulas which call on values that are in the spreadsheet. This is going to be the placeholder for the door. There's going to be a door there at some point. I didn't model it in the frame, it's also not on the drawing, because I haven't really decided yet how I'm going to do the door. I haven't decided on a lot of the joinery specifically either. It's more like I want to get a rough idea of where it's going to be and exactly how I'm going to make all the joints. That's a bit later. Alright, so the normal square that you see, or rectangle, I mean, is the overall dimension, and the little green one in front of it is the main master sketch for all the different elements. What we're going to do is we're going to make a lot of different bodies, and every body will have a shape binder to this master sketch, and from the shape binder we select the parts that we need, we extrude them or pad them as Freecad calls it, and yeah, then we do some array or cloning and make an overhang. So far I've done 3 poles in this video up to now. Now I'm doing the beam at the bottom. Another option for the beam at the bottom. And the beam above the door. One thing I could have done better in the shape binders is, or in the master sketch to begin with, is to disable draw faces. Because you see these weird faces everywhere that don't really need to be there at the moment. Alright, so this is the main set. Now I'm cloning it, put it in a group, and I move the group, or the part actually. It's a part, not a group. And the amount that I move it is the total length of the... I made a mistake here, by the way. You see the red beams. I used an array, but if you use an array on a body, it needs to be within the body. It needs to touch the body itself. I should have used an array from the draft workbench, which is a weird place for it, but that's what it is. Now make a group for the... I have two folders. One folder is for the 3D model, another folder is for the sheets. I didn't make any sheets yet, but I will at some point, so. Alright. A bit later down the video, I'll make the sheets. I didn't have a spreadsheet value for the width of the beams, of the smaller beams, so I just took 50 millimeters for that. And besides the aside from the shape binders, I also used projected... Gosh, I forget the name of the tool right now. It's the one with the blue square with the blue line with the two red dots above it. Basically, it allows you to copy geometry projected to the view that your sketch is working in, if that makes sense. It's been a long day. Making my first sheet. I like to set the scale on the page level so that I've got a in my title box I have a few values, and the scale value is one that takes the scale of the page itself. And also it allows the views that I make. If I choose page and I set up the page scale correctly, basically it's hassle free. I set the scale once on the page, and all my other views, if I leave them at page, they come out nicely. So that's what I do. Here I'm just running through the parts that there are. First sheet I made, I didn't have all the extra parts because I forgot about the array thing. And this is a bit more focused with all the beams in it. I might change the beams on the roof, not sure about that yet. And a new sheet, and this is the end result. Ta-da! It's not super detailed, but it doesn't have to be because I'm the one that's going to build it. So. Alright, that's all.